if I was like, let's say, 18 or 20 years old and I wanted to produce records, I would do actually what I did when I was 18 or 20 years old. First of all, I was in a band for sure, or a number of bands. I set up a home studio where, I got, and I went out, where a home studio where I could record the kinds of bands or the kinds of music that I like to do. So in my case, I had the drummer in the bathroom, and I had the singer in another room, and the guitars in the closet, and whatever. So, and then I set about the process of actually recording bands, because that's actually what you want to do. So you practice it, and you get good at it until you actually, and I record them for free. I would go out and find a band. I'd go down to the Sunset Strip, go to the Troubadour, and see a band that I like, and I'd say, "Hey, you guys are great. Do you have a demo tape?" If they said yes or no, or if they said yes, I go, "Well, is it new or old?" And then they would say, "Well, it was old." I'd say, "I want to make a demo with you. I'll pay for everything. Come to my house Monday through Thursday next week, and we're going to record 3 or 4 songs. I'll take you out for drinks now." That's the kind of thing I did. That's when I go back and I tell the story about how I got signed here. Well, one of the things, or hired, I should say, one of the things is that I had made 2 demo tapes that they had listened to, and they basically said, "This guy's got something." Now, I had made probably a good 10, 15 tapes before that, and before that, of my own bands, I made hundreds of thousands of probably 1,000 recordings. I mean, I remade in my bedroom "Tomorrow Never Knows" by the Beatles probably like 3 times. I did songs by the Tubes. I did songs by the Clash. I played every instrument. I recorded. I experimented with microphones, microphone placement. I experimented with overdubs and reverbs and delays, and talked to a million artists. And I just was living it as a producer beforehand. So by the time I was actually on the other side of this very desk, and back then it was cassettes, I came in and Ted Templeman put the cassette in, and he listened, and he goes, "Hey, that's good." I was like, "Whoa, he thinks it's good." But I had been, when I think back on it, of course I was shocked and happy, and it was amazing. But before that, I was like, when I think about it, I go, well, you know what? I actually made it so that I had a chance for it to be good, because I had recorded 1,000 songs before that, and and it tried different mixing techniques. I mean, I did everything you could try. So that's what I would do. I would pick bands and record them somehow. Beg, borrow, steal studio time. Make your own studio at your house. Put yourself in the role of producer. Assume that you're a producer right now. Go, "I'm a rock producer, or I'm a jazz producer, or I'm a pop producer." If you're a rock producer, go out, get your room together, get your mics together, and when you're ready, invite a band over. And if you're too shy to do that right away, then play everything yourself and record yourself making a rock song. And which I certainly did so many times, it was embarrassing, especially the early ones. And then, and if you're a pop producer, then or if you want to be Dr. Dre, then start making beats. Make 10 beats a day. Figure out how to get the fattest samples you can get. Try to define. If you say, "I like what Little John does, and I like what Jay-Z does, and I like what this guy does, and I want to throw in a little Will.I.am," then go sit down and beat those guys. And then just 2 things are going to happen. One is you're going to make yourself better, and you're going to actually be doing something that will be of value and make you money one day. The other thing will happen is you will realize how far you have to go, because those guys are great. They're really good, and they've paid their dues, and they're talented. You have to find out if you are talented.